Hey guys, how you going? So today we're over here doing front bearings on a Hilux 08 after they shattered while he was driving. Beast. And we'll switch over to the GoPro. Alright, so we got it jacked up just enough to test it first. Gonna give it a spin. See how we go. Oh, doesn't sound very good. And now I have prickles all in my hands. Alright, we'll get this wheel off and have a look. Alright, so I've never done one of these before, but first thing we're going to do is remove the caliper. Don't forget to undo the brake line so that you can move it out, and always attach it so it's not hanging. Make sure there's no tension on anything, which I did bring an offie strap and a zip tie for. It should be 17 mil. You'll just have to bear with me through everything. I'll try not to cuss and carry on. I have worked on this a few times, and being an ex-minute, it has given me a lot of grief. I have a lot of Loctite on the nuts, and it definitely has not been maintained. Yep, 7/8. We have a 12 mil up the top. Let's get that done now before I loosen the other one. There we go. Just a bit stuck. Ugh. My God. I would freak if my car was like this. The brakes, if you can see. Alright, so now we're just going to hang this up. Gonna have to move this. Alright, so we've got it suspended up there. And we'll get back onto this. So we can use the 12 mil that I just took out of the brake line to help pull this forward. Just by screwing it in, it'll help push the disc away. Sometimes it's not going to go in because of all the rust and whatnot in there, but you can use any bolts just to give it a helping hand. Pull forward. So as you can see, just by pulling that in, it pushed the disc off. And there we have it, which is also very badly scarred. And they definitely need replacing. Alright, so here we have it. So we're going to take the bolts, these 4 bolts off. Alright, so I just sprayed it with some good old WD-40 and let it sit while I had a smoker, and now we're going to try and bash these nuts off. They're going to be tight and they won't come out all the way, but they'll come out enough to give us a bit of wiggle room to get this off. Once I've loosened them, I'll take this off so that we can get to the axle nut, and there's going to be a lot of banging going on. Just loosen them out as far as you can go. I'm not sure if you can even see. There, all 4 of them at the back. And I don't have a chisel in my bag, so we're just going to use a screwdriver to pry this off. There we go. Wow. Look at the state of that. So first of all, we just have to pry the split pin out, and I just have to make sure that I've got the right size for when we put it back in on the castle nut here, which I will clean all up before putting it back in, and I'll remove all the rust, whatnot. Okay, pointers. Take the castle nut off, and actually, I don't have a 35, I have a 34, but I have a 1/38, which fits perfect. So we'll give her a spray, come back in a couple of minutes and take it off. To crack the axle nut, just put a screwdriver in the bottom over here to hold it still if it's not holding still in gear, and grab a hammer and pole on the end and just smash it until it breaks the seal, and then you're good to go. Alright, so we're back after our break. As I just showed, once you crack the seal, it'll come off. I've just got it in gear at the moment. Keep it still. And sometimes they can be huge pains in the butt, and you'll need to get a rattle gun onto it to crack the seal. Alright, so just use a screwdriver or chisel or whatever just to help break it off the backing plate. And release the bolts further as you go if they're still locked in. This will take a bit of time, but you just got to ease it forward. To help it come off the spline, you can just spray it with a bit of WD-40 or whatever you're using. A bit of lube, rust killer. So you can see it's coming away. Just got to keep working the bolts out as you go. Not a very good cameraman either. A lot of people might think that they can't do something like this, but like me, I give everything a go. More satisfying when you do it yourself as well, as long as you make sure that you take all safety precautions and make sure that all your work's always double checked over and over after you finish it, because even mechanics make mistakes. This is probably the longest part in the whole lot. Alright, and the whole assembly is off. Just put your backing plate down. And we got the whole assembly. Before we go putting on the new one, we want to give this a really good clean. Oh, we've even got a rock in there. So just get some degreaser on it, give it a good clean, get all the grease off. Alright, well, I'm going to go clean this and I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so here we have the new and the old. And we'll get started on the job now.
Can I have chocolate?
So I need to put the backing plate on first. Line up the spindle. That little bit. Engage one nut to hold it in. And make sure everything's flush. Alright, and we're just going to nip up those 4 bolts behind again. I actually haven't got around to replacing my 17mm ratchet, so I'm going to just do it with the ratchet spinner. So I'm just going to do it with a normal spinner. So I'll just pause it for a couple of minutes while I nip these up and then come back. Okay, so now we've nearly got it nipped up, and what I've done is I've just cross-bolted it, so pull one in a bit, then down to the opposite corner and so on, so that it goes on nice and uniform. And now I'm just going to give the front of that another wipe to make sure we didn't get no debris on it. And then put the nut on again. Just want to give it a bit of a wiggle as well to make sure that I've got it all into place. And we've already pre-cleaned the nuts. Oh, I'll just go whack it back in full drive. Okay, so back in forward drive again. Alright, so just had to pop out. The problem with buying things before you pull anything apart is sizing. So the split pin that we measured it up to, that well, super cheap said was the same size, was a 550mm, and it is not. It is a 450mm. So I've just had to run down and grab a new pack, as the other one would not go in. And we'll see how we go this time. Yay! I'm just going to turn it so that we can do one forward, one backwards. And give it a little whack in as tight as we can go. Run over the front. done. There we have it. And then we just put the rotor and caliper and everything back on. We're good to go. Gonna give everything a clean, best job I can possibly do. As I said, it all needs replacing. No point even getting started there. There was something behind that one. Right, caliper back on. Remember, do not let go of it. Otherwise your cords will be damaged or severed. Just whack a bolt back in it. Give it a wiggle until the bolt goes in if you can't find the hole. Seems to be done right now. I've got too much mess here. Sorry about the shot. Doesn't want to play my game at the moment. Oh, there we go. Before I give this back, I'm going to just make a note of everything that needs to be doing, and I will degrease all around the backing here for him so that we can see where all the leaks are coming from. So if you've watched any of my other shows, I just teach myself how to do everything. I originally started working on cars after getting my car out of a mechanic and near killing me and costing $2,700. And it costs so much less now, and I know I did it myself. So there we go. Alright, so we'll put all the wheel and everything back on, and I will go over everything and double check We've got everything right. And that's it. Cheers. Thanks for watching.